Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the twice weekly VR podcast. You're watching and listening on Thursday, so you've joined the VR Download Gamescast. My name is Zena, and I'll be your host for today. And joining me is my gunslinging partner in crime for today, Jamie Feltham.
I bow to Queen Xena. Oh, hail Queen Xena. Long live Queen Xena. Officially the best host we've ever had.
Oh, damn. You're just bitter.
About what?
About the previous host. It's okay. It's all right. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. No, I
It's
thought you
all right.
hosted it.
We've got you guys watching live right now on YouTube. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Let us know. I can't currently see the chat.
Yeah, let us know if you can see us talking and stuff. I think chat's frozen for us, so Z, maybe you want to check in the real world in a second as well. But
cool.
Well, oh no, I have movement, although it's also very.
You got it? Cool. In the meantime, right. I'd like to give a shout out to our members. Radical App Dev is the latest member. Welcome and thank you so much. We've also got Rick Tet, Robert Quinones, Steve Evans, Smash Reality, Adam Hartzell, who is in chat right now, BR Shah, John Westra, and Dominique Fruchtman. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. If you want to get a special shout out, become a member. Why not? I don't know how to do it, but just press member.
One day we'll think of nicer things to do as well. I'm sure. The shout outs are really good and we love you guys, but we want to do more for you guys and we're thinking about it. We got plans, right, Zena?
Yeah, absolutely.
Plans.
I can see chat. So the Triangulator, what is up? How are you? Sampler says that they see us. I'm very glad about that. Ninja Shawnee, Smash Reality, the absolute boy, Chris 9989, Josh McGilly Cuddy, and all the rest of you.
Well, you really went for it. You really went for it.
Yep, I went for it.
I respect it. I respect it.
Anyway, let's get to the headlines. We're going to get into the VR news of this week. First up is this isn't a repeat from last week, but we're going to kind of go over a few of the same titles. Larcenauts. Today we revealed 9 minutes of gameplay from the multiplayer hero shooter Larcenauts, which is Impulse Gear's latest. You can see it up there if you're watching on YouTube. It's Impulse Gear's latest VR game following the incredible Farpoint on PSVR. This is the first gameplay that we've seen other than snippets in the launch trailer that we saw last week. And honestly, it looks pretty impressive and promising as a hero shooter. There you go. It looks pretty polished, to be honest. Throughout the gameplay montage, you can see teams battling it out for control points on the map. And you can see some of the specialist abilities of each of the classes too. Jamie, what did you think?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, right? Like this is PC footage, like I think you said. And the whole point about Larcenauts is that, you said it's a hero shooter. So, if you haven't seen the game yet, you should be thinking Overwatch. You should be thinking, I don't know, another hero shooter. But if you know them, that's what you should be thinking. And what I like about this is we are seeing a level of polish here, right? Like it is very colorful and vibrant. And speaking to Impulse Gear, over the past couple of weeks, they've always been very keen on emphasizing that the classes have different abilities. Every weapon has like a secondary fire and everything like that, and that it will be a deep game with lots to master. Like you can't just play one match and really know what you're doing. You're going to be playing loads of different matches. Just to master any of those abilities. And I think you kind of get a sense for that in this gameplay, right? Like we're seeing a couple of the different weapons. You see a couple of the different abilities. Unfortunately, much to Zena's disappointment, there is no appearance of Zod yet.
Yeah, Zod, what the heck are you? The little punchy alien that just goes around like decking everyone. No one is safe from Zod. Vod. Vod?
Oh, Vod or Zod? I can't remember.
Is it Vod or Zod? I don't know.
We'll cast the trailer in a second and find out. Punchy Alien is a good name for it. But if you haven't seen, is it VOD? Oh yeah, and that's all A classes there as well. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, you can go back and watch that. There is an alien. This is Xena's favorite thing. Just has elastic arms. So you just throw punches out. It's like, yeah, nice technical game, all these different weapons, get behind cover, use the grenades when you can, and everything like that. And then just the dude that punches you with his elastic arms. No time for tactics. Boosh, 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 boosh. That was a very good impersonation.
Valorant is another one. Team Fortress 2. So I saw someone say that comparing it to Overwatch is too much. Comparing it to Team Fortress 2 is too little. It's somewhere in the middle there.
Okay, that's interesting because I mean, again, I'm not like really super intimately familiar with these type of games, so I don't know. That's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to playing it. Really, is it's going to be the first time I get stuck into one of these things properly, really. And I'm looking forward to getting in and finding out what class I enjoy. I mean, if it's good, we don't know if it's good yet, but it's looking promising.
It is looking promising, and we this is our upload access title for this month. So that means we're like deep diving into like different gameplay, into developer interviews and stuff like that. So we're going to get a better idea of it throughout the month, for sure. But seeing as this is first gameplay, I'm pretty hopeful and positive on this, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. FX Node notes that Zod was actually the Superman villain, which is very true. I should have remembered that. I apologize. And Alex says hello. Yo, what's up, Alex VR? Good to see you. Wouldn't it be good if Zod was in it though, and we just had
VOD
Superman villains? No, okay, don't worry. It's too much.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's too much for the brain to process. The VOD and the Zod.
Much.
They're very similar. They're close on the alphabet as well. You can't expect me not to make these kinds of mistakes,
Yeah, you call me Vina all the time.
Yeah, I do call you Vina all the time. It's a real problem. I had to get therapy about it and everything.
Therapy about it? Okay,
No,
that took me a second there. Anyway. So, as I said, this is our upload access title for the month. We have already revealed a map, one of the classes, which is a grenadier.
Excellently pronounced.
Very
well pronounced.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, I'm not going to say this word because I'm just going to
mess it up. Can you say how you were going to pronounce it first, please?
I was just going to say Grenada.
No. You were going to say Grenadier. It sounded like a country, which I really enjoyed.
Shamed.
Sorry.
That as well as our zero caliber gameplay that someone pointed out that I was holding the magazine to stabilize the gun. But anyway, it's about the fun. But we'll get onto zero caliber later. Next story is Demeo. Again, this is not a repeat from last week. We are just bringing this back up again because there's some pretty excellent news on Demeo. So, last week we reviewed Resolution Games' latest title, Demeo, a tabletop dungeon crawling RPG, which we gave 5 out of 5 stars. Plenty of you in the chat seem to have loved this game just as much as we did. But just in case you missed out on our review, we've cut out that segment and it's on our YouTube channel now. The CEO of Resolution Games, Tommy Palm, took to Twitter and shared that within 48 hours, just merely 2 days, Demeo exceeded 500,000 in revenue and saw a staggering day one retention of 63%. Jamie, this isn't a surprise, really, is it? We all like absolutely gushed about this. We love this, right?
Well,
you're not into it.
No, so we did all love it. I still do. I really love Demeo. Just before I continue, Dylan Flanagan asked, I think you were asking if Larcenauts was announced for Quest, and yeah, Dylan, it's coming to Quest too. It's Quest and PC VR. I guess I felt it was kind of like a bit of a dice roll on if Demeo was going to succeed, however
Wee.
however well we reviewed it at the end of the day, because you know in an age of safe bets in the larger gaming industry, free to play shooters and whatnot, this isn't such a safe bet at the end of the day. But I think it really speaks to an audience that identifies content that really deserves to be in VR and really makes the
Yeah.
most of VR. And I think it speaks a bit to what I said in my review as well, is that over the course of this pandemic, people feel like they haven't seen each other, to the point where something comes along where, if you've both got Quests or you both got headsets, you can spend a bit of money and you can both have this kind of near, pretty close to like a lifelike interaction with each other.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's a really critical selling point for it right now. And I mean, like, just looking beyond what Tommy Palm announced this week. I mean, we've already seen mods for the game start to like get in. Like, I think people are
Hmm.
what are they doing? They're making like a numbered die is the first thing that
That's
people have done.
great.
Yeah, but so that's going to clearly have a big scene as well. Like, people are clearly going to start making their own campaigns and stuff once they figured it out, which will blow it up massively. Imagine like when people start doing Star Wars campaigns and stuff like that, if they
Oh
get that
my
deep
god,
into it.
don't even. That's just going to be incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think it's great. I think it's really encouraging. I wonder if they'll be encouraged enough to bring the game to PSVR, which traditionally Resolution hasn't done. But I
Hmm.
think that it sounds like this has been a bit more of a hit than some of their other stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Tommy said that within his career, this is the best Metacritic score that like he's ever received, which is
Hmm.
90.
Hmm.
That's just pretty darn good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's really good.
Mm.
And I was really happy to see that it got a 90 everywhere, because the whole thing about VR
Mm.
reviewing is you don't know where everyone else's mindsets are more than even traditional games right now. So I didn't know if other people were going to take to it as much as we had, and I'm really glad to see they have.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I need to ask Resolution about the chances of a PSVR release, because there is always the chance that maybe they wait until PSVR 2, but at the same time, like, that's probably a long way away, and it really feels
Yeah.
like PSVR 1 would benefit from Demeo. It's already running on Quest 2, so it's a pretty safe bet they could get it running on PSVR as well.
Oh yeah, and
Uh,
obviously it's just like a sit down experience, really, isn't it? It's pretty like there's no movement to it. You can just sit on a sofa and enjoy it. So it's not like
yeah.
that's gonna hold you back, is it?
Yeah, and I think I said it on Twitter the other day. I just remembered that wouldn't it be great to use the PSVR's social screen, so you could have like local Demeo games as
Oh,
well
that would be
between
sick.
two
Yeah.
players? That would be really, really cool.
Because
Especially
of
seeing
course
as
they're
they're doing
bringing
the
it to
yeah,
PC, like just normal PC, not
yeah,
VR. So
exactly.
yeah,
So
something like that would be amazing.
yeah, I mean, Resolution always does a good job committing to 6 to 12 months maybe of expanding out content for their games. But I wonder if we'll see more with Demeo. We know the second DLC is, or the first DLC rather, which is the second set of levels, is coming this summer for free. But are they gonna go on to third, fourth, and fifth? Are they gonna introduce some premium elements to it? There's a lot of opportunity to expand this right now, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes next. I think
100%. People are totally you know, talking up Demio in the chat as
vibing on it.
expected because you guys love it. Um, yeah, someone asked about the next DLC, which you said is coming this summer. It's the Rat
Yeah,
King expansion.
yeah,
Um,
sounds pleasant.
sounds pleasant.
I mean,
You
the
know,
the rats the rats in Demeo are already terrible. They get everywhere and they
yeah,
look
get out of here.
awful. Yeah, basically. I really, really hate the rats, so I look forward to stabbing the Rat King. Stab
Yeah,
him
me
good.
too.
That was a stabbing action.
Adam Hartzell said Demio feels like Cookout, which is Resolution Games' previous game. with
Mm.
dice. Hanging out with three buddies around a table feels nice in VR. And Smash Reality said, I never noticed made in Sweden on the pieces. It's really cute, isn't it? I love it.
That is a really nice touch. Really, really nice touch.
So
It's
yeah.
only on, but Chris was saying it's only on the vanilla bases. As you upgrade to newer bases, it loses it.
Oh.
So maybe they're not made in Sweden once they upgrade. Who knows?
Oh, damn. They go worldwide. Mr. Worldwide.
Outsourced.
Anyway, before we went live, some of you guys were saying Roblox on Quest. What about no blocks on Quest? So this is our next story. I don't know how into it you guys are, but here we are. Just like the Fortnite talk from last
it's
week.
going on the screen and you can live with it, all right?
All right,
you will never escape it.
The incredibly popular, no matter how much you may dislike it, online sandbox game Roblox got a PC VR support back in 2016. However, just this week, co-founder and CEO of Roblox Corp, David Basuki, I think
I think you're pretty close.
Thinks Roblox makes perfect sense for a Quest port. He grouped it in with the likes of Switch and, more interestingly for our VR audience, PlayStation. Jamie, how hopeful are you that they could actually get Roblox on Quest?
Just as excited as I am for, as Adam puts it, Fort Pog. I would love to see Fort Pog, whatever that is. Yeah, so I'm actually, here's the thing. I think I totally get why people aren't into Roblox. Obviously don't want to play with, join this community that's largely run by children. But at the same time, Roblox to me seems like a pretty amazing force for good. Like it's a really great set of tools to create stuff and let kids and anyone. I think the developer of a really good indie game, I can't remember what it is, but he's making his next game entirely within Roblox, which is really, really huge. And I think just proves that it's such a cool tool. And the PC VR support for Roblox didn't ever really go anywhere. I was looking at some of the comments after I wrote this article, and lots of people were saying it's kind of broken. There were some levels for it, but I truth be told, I didn't even realize it had VR support until I started writing this article earlier this week.
Well, it was so long ago, no one's really spoken about it, right?
Well, exactly. And so the thing I think about is I had an interview a couple of months ago now with Jesse Shell from Shell Games. I Expect You to Die, Until You Fall, all that stuff.
Boy,
Yeah, he's a very clever man. And what he was saying in that interview was, Facebook has this goal of selling 10 million quests, and when you have less than 10 million of a product, probably none of your friends have it. But when you have more than 10 million of a product, probably more than almost all your friends probably have it, right? And he said, what's really gonna push this platform going forward is when those kids grow up and have skills and a new kind of digital experience to interact with that they really, really like, and they start getting expendable income, and VR's at a point where they're like, where's my Roblox in VR? And that will be the real game changer. That will, he was saying, that's what he thinks when it will really catapult into the mainstream. And I often use a similar analogy for Fortnite, which is something I picked up from Ian, that Fortnite is this big kind of metaverse where you do concerts and creation, and apart from the battle royale, and it's also this massive free-to-play platform where PlayStation can play with Switch and Xbox and PC and at a point mobile phones. So it's kind of the same thing. So I think it's very, very important. We've seen, we saw Minecraft come to PC and PSVR. I don't think it's had quite the impact maybe you would have just immediately assumed it would have, but those are still two kind of troubled platforms, and getting onto Quest I think would help it really take off as well. I think Minecraft, Roblox, and to some extent, or to a lesser extent, Fortnite on Quest would be really, really big indicators of VR taking off. So a lot would have to change about the game, right? Because you wouldn't be able to do the flat screen stuff. It wouldn't be optional support.
No.
You'd be playing it in Quest. So that would mean all the creation and everything like that would have to translate really, really natively. And the other thing is, you know, VR chat has this system of, yes, there's content on Quest and PC at the same time, but when you're making worlds, that you're going to get to a certain point where it can't take it on Quest. So you kind of have to like switch that bit off. Which I think if this happens, that's what you'd see, right? You'd see them make a version of the game that will take some of the existing content and some of the existing VR stuff, and maybe even like Dreams have like a weird kind of freaky deaky mode where you can still play some of the traditional content in VR. But I think you'd see a more limited version of it.
Oh yeah,
but that would still be big, and it would keep growing, wouldn't it, with every passing Quest?
You'd hope so, because obviously, you know, it came to PC VR and we just never really heard from it again. But with it coming to Quest, yeah, people have been pointing out like it's a game for mostly under 13s, and under 13s aren't really meant to be having quests and using it.
Yeah.
But equally, I kind of put this up against Rec Room, and you know, mostly kids go in there, and if you know, I kind of feel like that is chaotic evil, and Roblox would be lawful good. That's what I feel.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And yeah, it's just I think it's exciting. I know the whole thing about the audience isn't meant to be holding enough for VR, but like I said, like that audience is going to grow up, and that's the kind of content they're going to want in VR. And Roblox has been around for so long. I didn't even realize this. Roblox has been around since like the early 2000s.
What?
Yeah. I was looking it up the other day.
Like the Penguin Club, like what's it
yes,
called?
like the Penguin Club, Xena. Just as old and storied as Roblox, the Penguin Club. Club Penguin, that's what you mean.
Come on.
So now we need to ask, when is Club Penguin going to be in VR?
Oh yeah, or Habbo Hotel.
The definitive social VR experiences.
Not become monkey, become pengy. I want to become pengy.
Zuckerberg just throws Horizon out the window straight away, and he's like, "I've got it." Club Penguin in VR.
Now,
give them a top hat. Let them have a little waddle. Oh, you could have a waddle locomotion. Oh my god! Get on the phone. Where's the phone? I can't find the phone in here.
I can't find it on my desk. 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Hello. I forgot my phone turns into a hand in here. He did that. What is Habbo Hotel? Is this a hotel for hamsters?
No. Was that your question, or Habbo Hotel was you're just like a little character, and it's a big hotel, and you go. Everyone's just there. You can have your own little room, or you go into like other bits and bobs. Normally people like raided each other or had like awkward, weird relationships on there.
This sounds terrible.
Yeah, I mean, most of these are terrible. Like, let's
to be fair, awkward, weird relationships would hardly be groundbreaking for VR, would
it? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I think you'll all be thanking me, because we're going to move away from Roblox. And we're going to be going over to the newly announced games that got announced this week. So there are two. The first one is probably going to cast a massive shadow. What is this? Oh, that's that.
Captain Toonhead. That's one of the games.
It's Captain Toonhead versus the punks from
Don't
outer
you know
space.
Captain Toonhead?
All right, Captain Toonhead. Oh yeah.
Oh no, we're going off the rails far too often.
This weird little, it looks a bit biblical, doesn't it? It's a bit of like a...
Oh, I know. I kind of know what you mean. Yeah,
it's quite, yeah.
It's got some iconography in there.
So for those of you who have no idea who Captain Toonhead is, it's meant to be a mix of first-person shooter and tower defense, and you're protecting the Earth from the likes of the punk army and dinosaurs, the
Mm,
famous two enemies of the Earth,
mm.
using nothing but guns, pinata catapults, hot sauce cannons, and firework launchers. Jamie, are you into it? No,
Um,
I am.
are you really?
Yeah, I think this is cool.
I'm
It
glad.
can verge on a little bit try hard, but I think this looks actually pretty cool. I like the hot sauce cannon thingy here. I didn't really get the whole punk army thing, but that's fine. I don't really get the origins of it. Why have dinosaurs come back? I don't know.
I think the aesthetic is really, really nice, and I
Mm.
appreciate. Like, you watch the trailers, and we don't have any of them on the channel, so I can't cast them. But it's actually very, very polished looking, which is
It is, yeah.
nice. I just get kind of early 2016 era wave shooter vibes from it a bit, and I feel like
Yeah.
which I feel like is a real shame, because I think the developer's putting a lot of love and effort into it, genuinely. I
Yeah.
just think it's gonna get here as a sort of one of those kind of too little, too late kind of games.
I don't know about that. I really like the mix up of I don't know if you can get the trailer up from our VR trailers and clips channel that you should also subscribe to.
I don't think I uploaded it.
Oh darn. Well,
I'm sorry.
anyway, it looks really good with the mix of FPS and tower defense. It gives it a nice edge to it, you know. So you set up your little bits and bobs. It kind of reminds me, and this is something that we keep bringing up because it's the game that we're playing right now. It reminds me of Monster Hunter when in this in this latest one, you do a kind of tower defense thing, but you can also jump down and beat up the monsters yourself if you want. It reminds me of that a bit. I really like it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I totally appreciate that. And if it does have like that kind of good stat driven gameplay loop where you're like me and you enjoy playing pixel junk monsters a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, maybe enjoy as a
we
maybe a
we
stretch.
fight
Scream
through it
at
a
each other
lot.
while we play pixel junk monsters. If you can get that kind of like level of addiction going, with just how much fun it is to play, then yeah, absolutely, I think it'll be fun and worth a look. I just, from everything I've seen, the whole dual wielding weapons thing, I feel like we're kind of
Mhm.
past that a little bit with the whole arcadiness of it right now. Um,
Oh. Oh, mate.
I'm sorry if and I'm hopeful. Maybe I'll be wrong, but
Maybe I'll be wrong, but I'm not
we'll.
usually.
I didn't say that bit. You said that
The
bit.
only thing is, Pixel Junk Monsters and Monster Hunter both we enjoy it mostly multiplayer. I'm not sure if this is multiplayer or not.
Mm. Onike's, I don't think they mean the archaic version of or punk, which you have so rightly pointed out used to mean prostitute. I don't think it.
What the heck?
The game would be slightly darker in tone if that's what that was about.
Oh, these darn prostitutes and dinosaurs always teaming up.
Yeah. The real enemies of the earth. Anyway, sorry to bring the tone down there for a second, but I just had to clear that up. I don't think it's that category.
No, more like, I don't know, like 1970s,
Punk is in like, what
London.
are you doing here, punk? No, I don't even think it's that. I think
Yeah, look,
they do
it's
have
literally got a little mohawk.
They do
and
have
stuff.
little mohawks. They do have little mohawks. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, that was one of the the games announced this week. The other game, oh, by the way, that is coming to Quest PC VR and PlayStation VR.
The Holy Trinity.
I think they're all coming at the same time, the same
The
date.
big ones.
The biggies. The other game announced for Quest and PC VR, so not PSVR, this week was Clash of the Chefs VR. So yes, another hamburger making sim is coming to VR. Oh,
what? Don't you like hamburgers?
they're fine. Like, I don't know why everyone wants to make a hamburger or do that thing.
Why does everyone want to make a hamburger?
Or do that thing, make food.
How dare they?
Anyway, this one, so notably, this isn't going to be an App Lab game. This is actually coming to the Quest store.
Yeah.
There's going to be over 60 levels in single player mode, and there's also going to be different kitchens to work from, so American, Italian, and
There we go.
Japanese.
I was just trying
Um,
for ages to get it cast. Prepare yourself. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
'Tis casting.
There we go.
Belige.
Just casting a release. Yeah. There you go. Okay, there you go. Again, you're chopping it up. You're putting a pizza in the oven. You know, assuming that's the Italian level for those of you who are watching on YouTube. Where, if you're listening in, we're watching the trailer right now, and it's, you know, you can imagine it. You don't have to be here to watch it.
Pouring some tea. I've never really poured tea in VR before. There is that at least.
Have you wanted to?
Not really. Daniel said, "Yet another cooking game. I can't even be bothered to cook in real life."
Literally. Same.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, oh, we're back to that. I don't know. It's true, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, another cooking game. I don't want to sound too down on it. And we all liked Cookout. We all liked
Yeah,
Overcooked, even though
Cookout's
that's not in.
cool, right? So
Yeah.
it had a USP, it had a unique selling point, right?
Oh, okay.
Of the whole, like, people being there, and it's actually, like, you know, themed. It's you know, and it had interesting stuff, and it is like 4 of you guys facing each other, and it has interesting dynamics, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is just, let's chop up an onion and get it out as fast as we can, and it's the usual food. It's I'm sorry, guys, but it's boring now.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, and this kind of goes for Captain Toonhead too. I think people think of developers think of ideas, and they are genuinely good ideas. You think, oh man, Overcooked in VR is such a cool concept. Let's do it. And sometimes it's the case that it takes 1, 2, 3 years to develop, and by the time you've got it out the door, there's a million other games just like it. Sometimes it's the case that
games.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's the case maybe you didn't do your market research and didn't realize there were already a million games just like it. So yeah, it's a cooking game. I feel like Cookout probably explored this to the fullest extent it was going to go. But we'll see. I kind of hope it's all right. Like, Cookout was good enough that if someone else could replicate the experience, I would go through it again, I guess. Like, and if I don't know what's going on with the multiplayer, I can't remember what you said, but I would do the multiplayer again. I mean, chat's agreeing with you at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I can't lie. It just doesn't look entirely unique on its own, which is a real shame. No, you're hang on, I'm just shouting to Xena in the other room. You're not still here, Xena. All right, okay, so while Xena works out what's going on, it's just me in the studio, everyone. How's it going? Good to see you. Let's do one of those mods are away. Talk about non-VR games for a second. I haven't played Resident Evil 8 yet. Is anyone else playing Resident Evil 8? I'd like to. Probably going to wait till I'm turning it back on course though. I'm probably going to wait till it's got VR support if that ever happens. I'm hoping it does. We all like VR. That's why we're here. Well, I'm just still talking to myself. Do you know what I'm going to do while we're here? Chat, agree with me on this. Shall I just move on and review Zero Caliber? What? Okay, I'm going to move on and review Zero Caliber. Look at this. I'm being put on the spot, but I'm doing so well. Got some gameplay up on the screen. If you haven't heard of Zero Caliber before, it is a... Oh, hello. You got no sound. See you in a second. If you haven't played Zero Caliber before, this is the Quest version of the game called Zero Caliber Reloaded. It's basically a retooled version of the PC original, which is kind of like a modern military shooter, which obviously there's quite a lot of those in VR, but most of them are like kind of multiplayer focused at the end of the day, right? The refreshing thing about Zero Caliber Reloaded is that it's actually kind of more focused on a campaign, which has 23 levels. Zena, try speaking.
Got 23 levels.
Hey, there we go. We're back.
I'm
We're
back,
running.
everyone.
I feel
All right, sorry,
timed.
carry on.
I feel timed quite well then. All right.
Talking
I'm going
about
to
Resident
start
Evil
over.
8. What's this?
Oh yeah, I know. I spoke about non-VR games for a bit. I'm going to start over so that we have the nice, elegantly put together YouTube clip.
Yes, please do. Yeah. Okay. On to the reviews. Please tell us about Zero Caliber Reloaded.
Yeah, so Zero Caliber Reloaded is a retooled version of the PC VR game, specifically for the Oculus Quest. It's a first-person modern military shooter, which, you know, we have a lot of those in VR. They're normally aimed at kind of online experiences like Onward and Pavlov, and what have you. The refreshing thing about this is that it's not really focused on those. It's kind of more focused on a campaign that you can tackle either in single player or with up to 4 friends in co-op. And like I said, there are like 23 levels, fairly decent chunk of content there. Probably take you about 45 hours to get through all of them, depending on difficulties and who you play with and whatnot. You might well already be familiar with this on PC. The thing Zero Caliber does really, really well is weapon handling and customization. So it's very much one of those games that there are a lot of different weapons, and each one feels unique and authentic, both in terms of like when you pull the trigger, how they react, aiming down the sights, how you reload. There's like a whole authentic, you know, load the magazine in a specific way to that weapon, then pull the, you know, the pin or the lever or whatever you need to pull to get it working again. All of that stuff's really great. The attachment system, very, very detailed. You can get scopes, you can get laser sights, all kinds of things, and you unlock those through a leveling system and buy them with cash. And then even when you're, you know, in like a multiplayer instance, I guess you would say, you can take like the customizations off in real time, pass them to a friend. They can pick them up, as you might have seen us do in this video. I think we do it at some point, and they can pick it up and put it on their weapon, which is just really cool. You know, like VR specific stuff. It's also a pretty tactical shooter in terms of you have to get into cover all the time, especially on the harder difficulties. Make sure you're leaning out and getting in shots while making sure as much of your body is covered as possible, which is I always really, really like. And there's like this kind of physical gun system in place so that your guns aren't going to float through, you know, objects and you can cheat or anything that way. It's got kind of like it'll push up against surfaces and stuff like that. So all of that stuff's very, very good. Enjoyed playing through the campaign. But, you know, it's also true that the game has its fair share of issues. I think the 3 main problems are kind of the consistency of its design, the underwhelming AI, and the tech hiccups. So some of those kind of bleed into each other. But what I mean about the consistency of the design is, yes, it's a 4-player co-op campaign, but some levels play best just 1 or 2 players. Some levels play best with 4 players. So me and Xena played the level you're seeing now, and in these kind of tighter spaces, we actually ended up having a lot of fun, didn't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely loved it. I think it played so well with just the 2 of us. It was the right level of challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. But then yesterday we jumped into kind of like a 4-player match with Heaney and Ian, and it kind of felt like the game suddenly crumbled under the weight of that, right? Because the levels were very, very tight, and we were kind of all getting in each other's way a bit. I think like there was times we were looking through door frames, and like Ian was standing in the door frame, so that none of us were firing at the enemies through it apart from him.
Oh yeah.
And like we were like running into each other, and also because we were kind of like we were just tearing through it, because it really felt like the enemy count or whatever couldn't really keep up with, you know, 4 people gunning their way through the level. Because of that, we were also running into like weird technical glitches, like, you know, that kind of active mission zone where if you leave it, they're like you're leaving the area, return in 5 seconds. That started to get out of place with where it should have actually been for some of us. And like me and you were having trouble we kept being teleported back to the start, which was in the
Mhm.
non-active mission zone, and we couldn't get out of the
Yeah, we
active
just
mission
kept
zone in
being
time.
dragged around.
Yeah, and then also like we we noticed enemies like spawning into rooms that we'd already cleared, and like sometimes we'd spawn in areas and there'd be enemies camping there, which is kind of rare. You don't usually see uh, enemy camping in single player games against NPCs. It's usually a multiplayer that stuff goes on.
Mm.
And then the AI is the other thing to talk about as well. I feared the AI would be dreadful. I was worried that it would just be that simple. They run at you, guns blazing sort of thing that happens all the way through the campaign, and you know, it gets boring and shuts your brain off. It's not. It's not quite that bad. So as you can see, actually, right now, oh, and this is my favorite bit: Xena waving her arms, running away from the enemy. As you can see right now, they take cover and they can roll out of the way and do some exciting acrobatics and stuff. But at the same time, it's still not quite there. They still do some of that running at you. You'll notice them like turning away from you in the middle of battle, like running into each other, getting super confused and everything like that. All kind of stuff you kind of expect from like an indie developed first person shooter at the end of the day. So you know, with those on board, even though I do like the game quite a lot, it's hard to give it 4 out of 5. We ended up going with a 5 out of 5 because it just feels like, you know, there's not a 1 star difference between this and Half-Life Alyx or something like that. There's still plenty of room for shooters to grow from this. But I would also say it's a pretty encouraging sign of what could be done on Quest. And as we've been talking about recently, you know, the quality of content on Quest. I think I'm going to sneeze.
Oh no. It's the end.
Thank you.
Oh!
I think that was the first sneeze anyone's ever done in the download, wasn't it?
Oh, congrats.
Clean noses for like 90 hours until now. 90
Keep your nose clean,
streams
boy.
without. Anyway, yeah, there's just more room for VR shooters to grow on Quest. I do think it's fun. I think if you're a fan of single player or, you know, co-op games, you should check it out. It's $24.99, I think. But don't go in expecting like some sort of like COD level, Battlefield level campaign or anything like that. It's not that huge cinematic experience. It's just a pretty good shooter.
Awesome. Yeah, so obviously you want to compare it to the other shooty VR games, right? So Onward.
Yeah.
Comparing the main thing for me was the onboarding experience. It was fantastic. It's probably the best onboarding experience that one of these types of games has got. With, you know, most of the others, they're like, oh yeah, you know how to load one of these, like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I'm not familiar with these guns. Like, come on.
Yeah, no,
But
exactly. Onward is military simulation. This
exactly.
is elements of that, but not quite the way there at the end of the day. But Onward is
Exactly.
like is you mentioned one of your favorite things about the game is how good the onboarding experience is, the
Mhm.
tutorial, which really does get you to grips with it in about 10-15 minutes. Whereas
Exactly. It gives
Onward,
you room to breathe at the
yeah,
beginning.
whereas you could play hours of Onward and still not feel like you've truly grabbed everything because it's not that great at explaining everything to you. So I completely
Mhm.
understand where you're getting at there. Thank you to everyone that said bless you, by the way. Daniel, no, that was not a sign that I have coronavirus.
Rona!
I am one vaccine in. Thank you very much.
Oh
I'm all
dear.
good. I'm all good. Don't worry. And
You'd think
even if I
these
did, we're in a safe environment here. I mean, you're not
you'd
really,
think
but
these Rona jokes would get old, but they still get me.
no, they don't. But yeah, comparing it to other shooters, yeah. I haven't played Contractors, but I know Heaney and some guy called David were pretty fond of it, and I think Heaney said I need to play it and compare, but Heaney said, you know, the kind of mission structure is pretty similar, so it would be good to go back and check what that's like. Pavlov is way more of a kind of Counter-Strike feeling than this. I think it
Mm,
goes even further into the kind of arcadey zone than this does.
mm.
They are working on PvP for the PC version, which is in early access, and they are also meant to be working on a PSVR version. So we'll see how that works out. And I think
Ooh.
even though they're separate games, so you can't do crossplay or anything like that between these two versions, I think we'll try and get maybe like a graphics comparison in maybe tomorrow or something like that, because those are always fun to look at.
Cool. So I think that about wraps up Zero Caliber Reloaded on Oculus Quest. 3 out of 5 stars from us here at UploadVR. Next up is Population 1. It's launching its second season today, which we touched on a little bit last week. It's called Frontier, and it's Wild West themed. I wasn't too hot on that, but actually when Jamie and I jumped in, it was pretty fun. So, Jamie, what were your impressions?
Yeah, I was pretty keen on it, I think. Sorry, I was just trying to do the searchy thing. There we go. The whole thing about Population 1, not the intended effect. The whole thing about Population 1 is David was a really, really big fan of it. I was never as keen on it as David when it first came out. Like me and you play a lot of Fortnite. We really enjoy that game.
Sorry, that's Fort Pogs.
Fort Pogs. We play a lot of Fort Pogs. Poggers. And we really enjoy that that experience. And I guess it's kind of unfair to compare the two because obviously Fortnite has a million billion gajillion pounds at this point, or dollars, sorry. And comparatively, yes, Pop One's made a lot of money for VR, but it's also only just getting started and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I felt like this update, I enjoyed playing. We played a couple of matches last night, and it's coming out today. I really enjoyed it because I felt like, to your point, what we've been saying is it's added a bit more personality to the game.
Yeah,
like the Western experience, the whole kind of area of the map you get is genuinely different and really well themed. And I said it's really interesting. It's like, obviously, if you're familiar with Fortnite, you know how like they update the map. They don't make the map bigger. They just swap out pieces of the map to kind of give a new experience.
Familiar, right?
Yeah, and in Fortnite, that's a really cool, fun, novel thing. Here, it almost gives it like kind of an amusement park feel of like you're walking into just a newly built area to go and try all the rides and whatnot, which I think is really fun, really cool. There's these new weapons, the Matadors, which we've actually got on the screen now. They're the first dual wielding guns in the game, which is like, it's cool. I mean, dual wielding is in every VR game, but it is cool. I really enjoyed them. They've got these really, really cool flick reload little motion you can do. Also, we'll talk about this graffiti in a second, maybe, but we'll get to that. The thing about them is, though, did you think they were like quite overpowered?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I wonder, because also they're taking out the katana from season 1 for a while. I wonder if they keep implementing the stuff that might be a bit OP. Because I was just, when we were playing games, people got in close range with me with double Matadors. Bearing in mind we were playing with the developers and they were very likely taking it easy on me. They were just in the kill zone. It was just murdering them, like straight up. But it was still cool. Oh, this is a good point. If you're watching here, we've got a coupon code on Stevie the TV right now. Go to our article and you can get 750 of the in-game currency for free if you buy the game between today and April 27th and then redeem it within 7 days. That's a lot of information, but do that. Yeah, I feel like Pop One is doing the whole Fortnite thing well, right?
Yes, it better now than what it did before. Like, I know you guys are fond of it. Wait, let me just check chat. Are you guys actually fond of it? I think you are. Everyone's kind of into it. I'm okay with it. I've played it a few times. Every time that I go in, I struggle to kind of remember like all of the.
There's a lot of buttons, isn't there? Like
there's a lot of stuff to remember.
They've kind of, it's like kind of this weird halfway house where like instead of doing like the whole backpack thing, like getting it out and stuff, you can just do it from a menu real quick and stuff like that. And it's you have to remember what to press. And there's the building element as well, which I don't necessarily think they needed actually, but
no, I don't think so. Although I saw the developers doing it a lot.
Yeah, it's the same as Fortnite, right? If you get really good at it, you're going to win games. But it takes a lot to get really good at it, especially on a Quest.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it adds personality. The developer seemed really pumped about it,
Mm-hmm.
as they would, because it's
Yeah.
their new season. They're excited for it to come out on that. But I'm hopeful for the future of Population One. I wasn't initially, to be honest with you. I wasn't that into it, but if they keep doing stuff like this, it could be really fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think this season runs till July. So they're shorter seasons, and I think the battle passes are a bit cheaper than Fortnite. They're $5, which
Mhm.
seems like a good price. Seems like a fair price. Yeah, it's one of those things where right now, like, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing when they can get some like deeper physics systems in there and whatnot. Like, I feel like will they be able to do the Boneworks thing at some point with one of their updates? Because that
Oh,
would
I
be
wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that in something like this. I just want
really.
simpler controls.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
like Daniel said, I usually die trying to juggle all my stuff and panic. Exactly. I'm
Hmm.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, even when the developers were like, "Oh yeah, let's show you Frontier on the map. Open up your map." I was building walls around, shooting my
Oh
gun.
yeah,
Like,
that was
I
quite
couldn't
funny.
work it out at first. Like, I was like, "Yeah, I totally play this all the time."
Yeah, well, the wall just appeared behind them, and it was like, yeah.
Oh god.
Nah, it was
I
fine.
mean, this
Like,
is
it
all
was,
my footage, mind you.
yeah,
So,
you know what you're doing.
you know.
Um, yeah. So the reason I wanted to bring this back up is I mentioned a little bit of graffiti earlier.
Mhm.
It's why is this graffiti? We'll see it in a second. Why is it Spiderman?
Yeah, they're bringing memes into it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are bringing memes, but I feel like that's kind of a risky meme to be bringing into it.
Yeah,
If
it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's a bit of a 4chan-y one.
but hey, whatever the kids want, I guess.
Whatever the
Um,
kids want. Guys, can you still see us? Because as far as I'm concerned, you can only see the TV.
what? Why are you saying that? I think it's
Oh,
fine.
okay, because the screen there just shows the TV. If we're still
It's
in there,
all
that's
good.
fine.
It's all good.
Anyway, again, if you haven't picked this up, if you pick it up, you can use the code UploadVR and you can get €750 gold, which is about $10 in value.
Yeah, and there's more details on how to do all that on the article on the website that went live a couple of minutes ago.
Yep, and you can head over to uploadvr.com to look over all the stories that we spoke about today. You okay?
Yeah, yeah. I just realized. So we've spoken about Zero Caliber.
Mhm.
What we haven't done is checked the Oculus Store since today's update, which would have been an hour ago. I just wanted to see if there was anything new and unexpected. I like this part of my week. It's like Jamie's mystery hour on what's going to suddenly appear on the Oculus Quest Store. It's probably only going to be Zero Caliber, but let's find out.
Okay. People can only see the TV.
Oh, okay. Well, it's only Zero Caliber, and maybe we should just wrap up in that case.
What if we do this? Hello. It's me. Oh no, it's me.
What did you just
We're gonna
hit?
wrap it up now. I just walked into the washing, but that's okay.
Oh dear.
Here I
That'll need to
am.
be sorted out.
It's me in VR. So yeah, you can check out all the stories that we spoke about over on uploadvr.com, and the reviews. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Hello,
Join
Skeever,
us
right at the
on
end.
yeah, yeah, just our luck, huh? But join us on Mondays for the tech-based VR download, and every Thursday for this Gamescast. Yeah, until then, subscribe. And we'll see. Oh, there's the code. Ooh.
Read. Oh yeah, look at that. Read
Yeah, look at
upload
that.
access. Read our Larcenauts content. I guess maybe I should tease somewhat the
Oh,
thing
stand
we
up next to
do.
the TV.
Because there's a desk here. The thing we do every June. Hello. The thing we do
It's
every June.
me.
I know we've been quiet on it, but we're gonna do it. Don't worry, it's happening. The June thing. I'm not gonna officially say it just in case you're like, what June thing? How exciting!
The
But
June thing.
it's getting closer to being a thing, and it's going to be a good thing. Oh, I'll keep hitting the desk. Okay, I'm going to move back over here.
All right, cool. Catch you guys next week. Oi!
See you
All right.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye, bye, bye.